You know that credit history in some countries like US dictates your entire student life? Let me tell you that you can't even survive without credit in such massive economy. And I know it's even more shattering for international students. They enter a country with big dreams but face the hidden challenges, and credit history being a nightmare makes it even worse. International students are always overburdened with the classes, works, assignment, finding internship, and so on. Not only just that, they are now also carrying the lot of expectation, mental pressure back home. Then there's this another struggle of paying bills, managing money, and credit history, which is completely new to them. But don't worry, by end of this video, you will be at peace with credit history and credit score. And if you stay till the end of the video, you will know exactly how to build it all from scratch. But you might wonder and ask, like, why is credit history so important for students who are studying in United States? For example, if you're looking to buy a car, start a business, or finance your studies, for all of this, you most probably will need a loan. And what's more important for getting the loan is definitely a good credit history and a score. But I know a lot of people don't even know what is the difference between credit score and a credit history. They sound very similar, but there's a minor difference. In your credit report, it shows everything, including how much you owe, how well you have been with your payments, your past history with the finances, whereas credit score is basically a number that gives an overview of your credit history. Moreover, this could also help you to get low interest rate that can save up total value of money over long period of time. Let me tell you my personal experience. So I bought my first car, which was Honda Accord, and the price was about $35,000, and I got the loan for it. Obviously, I didn't have all the cash. So guess what the interest rate? It was 0.99%. And I thought that it was a normal deal and everyone probably gets the same prices or same interest rate on it. Then later on found out that my coworker got it the same car, similar price range, and got it for 17%. That was crazy. And because the interest rate is so high for him, he had to pay double the monthly payment in compared to mine. And can you guess why is it? You guessed it right. It is because of good credit history that made it all possible for me. Now, something more interesting is that your credit history will also come into play even where you want to live. You heard me right. Landlords often check credit history when selecting the tenants. And I'm seriously not kidding. When you go to find an apartment, they will do a credit check. So a good credit history with a clean bill of rent helps you with the several housing options. And don't forget, with the housing, you also need utilities and phone plans. Some agency will check your credit, and when you're trying to set up like water, electricity, and phone plan, and in case you have a poor credit history, they will charge you more deposit money, and sometimes they can even reject you to get the services. That is crazy, and it has happened. Imagine you land in a country with a bag of full dreams, but your credit history is like a blank canvas because your credit history from India or from your home country cannot be transferred to United States. It's totally invisible for the credit scoring systems. All right, so let's talk about how do you really build it? So for building a credit history, you need to have a credit cards, secured loans, or a trusted co-signer. These options are not probably available to international students super easily. And guess what? I've got something that can help you right away. Okay, so if you're an international student and planning to come to United States, you might need a loan. I would highly recommend to get a loan from Empower, who's also kindly sponsoring this video. But here's why Empower is more than just a typical lender. First of all, they give you loan based on no collateral, no co-signer, which is amazing. Not only just that, they also provide F1 visa support services, and they have several scholarships. Not just that, they also provide career services which help you in getting internship and full-time job, which is mind-blowing. They believe in your success. And because Empower is US-based loan, anytime you make a payment, they report that payment to US credit bureaus and it will show up in your credit reports, which in turns help you build credit history. Because you're making this payment structure will help you reduce the interest amount over the duration of the loan, and you pay less in total when you combine principal and interest. And again, anytime you make the payment, they report it to credit bureaus, which again helps you build the credit history. So if you're interested, highly recommend, link in the description. Also, they have an incentive program going on right now. If you get the loan using my link, you will get $200 bonus, which you can use for settling into United States when you first enter into United States. Okay, so that's one of the ways where you can start building the credit history. But when I started my credit journey, I wished I had something like that, but I didn't have it. So I remember my first credit limit was just like $500 with Discover. Eventually it became 1500, then 5000, then 8000, but it didn't grow super easily. It got improved with persistence and strategies with time. And you know what? After years of making right choices, my credit limit is now approximately $100,000. Yes, you heard that right. However, I don't use all $100,000 every single month, right? I only use small percentage of the credit limit. That is also part of my financial strategy because again, I want to be wise and mindful about my financial decision. Let me tell you, you can't mention credit history without the word credit card. They both kind of go hand in hand. That's why secure credit card can allow you to enter into the world of credit. It's like a safety net for bank. You put in a deposit and in return, they give you a card. Now, what do you do with it? Well, you have to use it responsibly. Let's say you need to buy an iPhone or perhaps just groceries and day-to-day like things. You go on a restaurant and you swipe that card and make sure that you pay all the payments on time every single month when the bill comes. Because you are making those payments, it shows up that in the bank that you are a reliable borrower and helps you paint a good picture on your credit history. It's kind of an investment that you're making for your financial reputation. Another things that you can do is because you will be brand new into the United States, you will also get SIM card, electricity, water, and all the other utilities. These are essential. What they are doing, if you think about it, is they are essentially giving you credit to use those services and hoping that you will pay the bill on time, right? So every time you pay things on time, all the bills that you pay out on time, it is going to show up on your credit history and it's going to say that, okay, you are someone who pay things on time. And that in general helps you build the credit history. Same goes for your rent as well. So I would highly recommend to be on the lease agreements. I would also highly recommend to get some utility on your name. And ideally you want to also get your SIM card and phone plans on your name as well. All of this kind of going to help you to build a credit history. If you are a student and you have a student loan, here's another golden opportunity to help you build the credit history. If you took the loan and it is a US based loan, when you're making that payment, again, make sure those payments are getting reported to credit bureaus. And that is basically telling all the lender that, hey, I'm quite good when it comes to managing my financial commitments. And again, it will show up in your credit report. Now, again, this will not work if you have an Indian loan, because if you're making a payment to India is not going to report it to US based credit bureaus. So this is also where Empower has this upper hand and advantage because it's a US based loan. So again, to bring you back, you have to start small, make wise choices, make sure that you pay things on time and watch your credit score grow over time. Again, you might have seen a lot of people having a bad credit history. And let me tell you, that is pretty common when it comes to international students. It can make it hard for them to get approval for loans, apartments, and super high interest rate on their brand new car when they're buying because they had a bad credit history. And sometimes if you are working for like a fintech company or a finance company, the job employers will also do a background check and they will check your credit history because you're going to deal with money. That is why it is important for you to understand what leads to the bad credit history. Well, there are few reasons that I'm going to tell you. Late payments of any of your credit accounts can become a real credit history stinker. The key is to pay your bills on time. So set auto payments if you possibly can, reminders, mark the calendar, whatever it takes. Another big one is having a high balance on your credit cards, especially if you're close to like maxing out. Like every time you get $10,000, you're like maxing out your credit card. If you're only making minimum payments, that is also going to create a dent in your credit history. Financial expert says that you should keep a balance no longer than 30% of your credit history. So if you have 10,000, don't use more than $3,000 to swipe. I personally only use 5 to 10% of my credit limit. So up to you, however you want to use it. And another thing is that if you are unable to pay any of the credit payments, they can send you to collections, which again is a big no and red flag on your credit history, that they had to send you to collection, and collections were like now charging you more and more fees. And it's just going to be bad sign for you. All right, now you know that you need to pay all of those things ASAP. Again, credit history can either bring your life at ease or can make it living hell. So be mindful of your credit and your expenses at the same time. I am definitely planning to make more personal finance video. I've made several of them, so you will see the playlist somewhere here, and I'll also put it in the link in the description. But let me know what questions do you have about this topic or personal finance in general. And again, if you are an international student, you took a loan from India, you can also refinance it using Empower. Link is in the description. Check it out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep smiling, keep hustling. Gotta hustle every single day.